Hello, everybody. It's Mueller here from Constellation Research, here to talk to you about an event which could run in the April Fool's category, the thing which might never happen. Oracle and Microsoft partner. We kind of got used to this already since 2019 when I think it was Julia White, now the CMO of SAP, announces the partnership of the co-location part. So we're kind of getting used to it, but that Larry Ellison and Satya Nadella are in a room having a grown-up conversation which benefits enterprises, that is definitely something new and different. There was no hitting, there was no sideburns, there was no verbal things. It was all hunky-dory. Bromance comes to mind, which is great news for enterprises. So let's say first what happens, right? Oracle will provide for the first time their Exadata machines, which are the best to run the Oracle database, right? Oracle has an unfair advantage knowing the specs and then building hardware for fitting this. So this is why there's no Oracle hardware partner ecosystem anymore. Everything runs in Exadata. For the first time, these Exadata machines will be running in Azure. Right, they were running kind of like in Azure with the interconnect, but that interconnect, despite both vendors saying there's a super fast connection, well, it wasn't as fast as it could be if that machine would run the same data center physically on the same network. Why does it matter so much? Well, we live in 2023, the year of AI, and for AI, the CPUs, GPUs from NVIDIA, whatever you're using, are very expensive. You don't want to have them idle. You want to have the fastest network access that you can have to the relevant data. And who has a system of record of the enterprise in the 2023 century, right? Most of it runs in Oracle transactional databases. This is why it's so important to make generative AI, any kind of AI, work really well. This is why the announcement that's happened. Surely, again, pressure from customers. We know that 2019 was pressure from AT&T. Now, this time, look at the quotes there. I remember by heart PepsiCo, all small companies being quoted. They would not be on this press release if they wouldn't have significant skin in the game and a significant push to the vendors. So I think that this third partnership, right, last year it was all about that you can provision Oracle database from the Azure Council. It's totally intransparent that there's a different vendor involved. You just know the name, but you wouldn't even know, right? So what does it mean for customers, right? For customers, this is certainly great news because it means that you can keep your, and this when I say customers, I'm talking about customers who both use Oracle and Microsoft, obviously, right? So you would not be an Oracle shop and do this. You would not be a Microsoft shop and do this, but potentially, we'll talk about this in a moment, you might do this too. So existing Microsoft and Oracle customers who are using Power BI, that was use case all the way back to 2019, or any other of the Microsoft stack and want to do something with Oracle. Today, 2023, of course, the big use case is use OpenAI's generative AI capabilities in the Azure cloud for doing this. And that's what companies want to do. And the big secret is that all the good work which has happened around generative AI is not doing such a great job to understand what transactional database is. But step one, to make better sense out of this, is that transactional database needs to be closed. And then you have to find today a custom way. We'll talk about this more next week at Open World, what it means in a more structured way to get the data out of transactional databases digestible for large language models. Now, that's a different video, a different blog post, or whatever it's going to be. So it means that data is now available. It also means you can administer that all, again, from the Azure Council. It also means that the same physical machine is there, being managed by Oracle, by the way. No funky donkey mess issues there that you might not be sure if it's going to be supported well or right? They've probably figured out some sure network access to manage these systems, but that's the administration side. It doesn't matter for the performance of the customer, but networking's gotten so smart these days, so everybody can do that. It also means consumption's much easier. Bring your own licenses possible for customers. Oracle is really making it easy to move your database effectively inside Microsoft Azure, right? Including using cloud credits on the Azure side for that. So all that is good. So big benefit for customers. No more worries about how to get transactional data out there. Both Larry and Satya were saying, yeah, multi-cloud is a reality and moving across the clouds is very hard. So to a certain point, it's no surprise that the two vendors from the four that we see overall in cloud right now, right, to remind you everybody, AWS, Google, Microsoft, and Oracle, the ones who are closer and traditionally have ties to the enterprise because they've been in this business since 50 plus or more years, Oracle and Microsoft are doing what enterprises want and need, right? And kind of like leaving the new kids on the block, AWS and Google Cloud kind of like a little bit out. So why did Microsoft do this, right? Microsoft clearly has customers who they want to keep, need to keep, don't want them to go to potentially Oracle to run tech stack and build things in Java and so on, but they want them to use Power Apps, Power BI, and of course OpenAI as the big investment there, or the Azure AI platform, right? So that's a big win for Microsoft. A little bit on the critical side, it means also that anybody running on SQL Server at a very, very high end, I would make sure that you still get the support and the roadmap for anything that Microsoft has promised there around the scalability, but it opens up the door for Microsoft to skimp more on the SQL Server or Azure, the SQL, as was called in the meantime, as a cloud version of that. Microsoft never got it fully to scale as well as Oracle does on the custom silicon, which is at the end of the day not a fair comparison, but it never went there. So if you're an Oracle customer in the enterprise, sorry, a Microsoft customer, a SQL Server customer on the very high-end side, make sure you get those commitments, or maybe see the light, or see the end of the lifespan of SQL Server and its derivatives of code, and move to Oracle's database inside of Azure. So it's all there. Your credits, your contracts are not bad. Why did Oracle do this, right? Because for the longest cloud, Larry was kind of like saying, yeah, we have the best database platform, Exadata, we designed that. But if you want to have it, you have to come to OCI, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. I think it's an acknowledgement, of course, again, from customer pressure, and it's better for Oracle to keep the database customer than lose the database customer who has to migrate out for building AI applications, potentially in Azure. It's because that's where they're committed, that's where their credits are, that's where they want to be from a competitive perspective, or for whatever reason, right? So it's a win from that perspective from Oracle, and it's also the chance is Oracle, we hear that at Cloud World next week, is putting more compute, more capabilities into Exadata machines, that basically there's a Trojan horse inside of Azure, right? I mean, I'm sure that there can't be any secret shenanigans, but there will be more options for customers coming along Exadata. Let's forget this partnership for a moment, to build applications, to run applications, to look at data, to potentially run AI. And that's something they could use on that Exadata machine, maybe in 1 or 2 years or even sooner. So that's an interesting option. All right, that sums it up. I think it's great when arch enemies, traditionally historical arch enemies, partner. It's all about the customer. The customer has to win. Let me know what I missed. Let me know where I'm wrong. I love to hear from you. This is Holger Mueller from Constellation Research, over and out on my takeaway on a historic partnership between Microsoft and Oracle. Thanks for watching.